Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about how to approach your first couple days at the gym, because I know a lot of people don't really know how to get started. And I know myself personally, I was super confused the first couple times I went to the gym because I didn't really have a plan. So I'm going to just make a short little video kind of talking about how you guys can approach your first day if you are a beginner, or maybe you're getting back into it, or maybe you're getting into lifting for the first time, because I know it can be super confusing, very overwhelming and intimidating in general. So I've been lifting for about 2.5 years now, and if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm still nervous every single time I'm about to try something new, because I'm so scared I'm going to do it wrong, or I'm trying a new machine and I'm like trying to figure out how I'm supposed to use it, because there's nothing more embarrassing than hopping on a machine and doing the exercise wrong, because some machines label what muscle group it is and give you instructions, but some don't, and you just kind of have to be like, oh well, this looks like this is maybe for arms, and you aren't really sure, and you could ask someone but you're too embarrassed to ask and you're just super confused. So I understand that feeling. I still go through it, and I know my gym, I know most of the equipment, and sometimes I'm still like, I don't know what's happening. So going into your first day, week at the gym, going back to the gym, whatever it may be, just set up a plan of what it is that you're going to do. Your best bet is to hop onto a site like bodybuilding.com and look at their exercises database and figure out what it is that you want to train that day. For most beginners, I just recommend splitting your body into upper and lower and just alternating as the days go by, and just plan that based off of how many days during the week you have time to go to the gym. Look up exercises and plan out what you are going to do that day. Watch YouTube videos, do research. No one can really help you with this process, because it is whatever that you are interested in growing, whatever it is that you're interested in getting better at. So just do your own research and figure out what exercises you want to try out. I've tried out almost every single exercise for every muscle group. You just have to figure out what works for you, what you feel the most. Don't worry too much about like what you see results with, because results are going to take time. Focus on your mind to muscle connection. So if you're doing bicep curls, like a certain variation, and you just aren't feeling it and you're doing it correctly, just try a different one, because there's no use in doing exercises over and over and over again if you aren't feeling it, because that means that you aren't using those muscle groups and you're technically just wasting time. So just try out a bunch of different exercises. The only way that you can really learn is through trial and error, so don't be scared to try out new things. I would stay away from some of the Instagram workouts where you're doing all this weird stuff and like extra movements with kicks and like walking lunges with the booty kick, and then you pulse, and then you're jumping up and down, because that's all just for show. It's just for views on Instagram. I would just keep it simple when you're first starting out, because you're gonna have a better time with learning how to contract your muscles and get that connection that you need in order to build muscle. So after you've chosen your exercises, this is gonna sound really weird, but I would practice them at home before you go to the gym. Now, this is gonna sound so odd, but it gave me so much more confidence going into the gym, knowing that I knew how to do it correctly before I even walked in there. So I didn't do it with weights or anything. Like, I practiced the motion of a bicep curl in my floor length mirror in my apartment, because I was just so nervous. I was like, I want to make sure that I'm doing this right before I go in there. And then when I got in there, I was like, oh, cool, this is perfect. And another great thing that you can do is pull up a video on your phone and just watch the exercise being done and then do it yourself. When I first started out at the Towson gym, there is a different section where they had the mats. This was before they like redid our gym. We now have this section upstairs, which is like even more helpful if you're like kind of shy and worried about people looking at you and you don't want to be in the weight section yet. Completely understand. I went to that section and I just did the bicep curls literally staring at the wall, so no one could even see me doing them. And I think I was curling 2.5 pounds, and I was in struggle city, man. I think it took me like 2 months to get up to 5 pounds. I only just switched to 25 pounds like 3 weeks ago, and I've been lifting for 2.5 years, and I've been doing bicep curls for 2.5 years. So it takes a really, really long time to gain strength, but it does come. You just have to keep working at it, do the exercises that you enjoy, and just focus more on the experience and not as much on the results, because as a beginner, you're gonna get some newbie gains, which is gonna be really motivational, but after that, it's gonna kind of plateau And your newbie gains aren't going to be crazy gains. It's gonna seem like a lot for you, but most people may not even notice it. I know I was like, oh my god, my biceps. My brother was like, what? Then, this relates to girls and guys. I would wear an outfit that makes you feel really, really good. If I'm wearing something that's uncomfortable, I'm worried about it the entire time. If I'm wearing leggings that I'm like, oh, are these kind of see-through? That literally distracts me from my workout, and that might sound stupid, but it's like, I'm someone who takes lifting very, very seriously. I just want to feel comfortable in what I'm lifting in, and I want to look good at the same time because I feel good if I look good. So wear something that you feel confident in, something that you feel comfortable in, and will make you want to go to the gym, because who doesn't want to show off a cute outfit? I can't tell you the amount of times people have complimented my outfits and I felt 1,000 times better, and I've complimented someone's outfit and they like thanked me for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, see, this is why we're all here. So once you're at the gym, whether you're going with a buddy or you're just going by yourself, I don't like working out with people. It's very distracting. I like people that I know being there because I can go over and say hi in between sets and like procrastinate. So I would find a spot in the gym that you feel comfortable in. Make sure that you can bring your equipment to that area if you're doing like free weight stuff so that you don't get in trouble, but find an area where you feel comfortable to lift in. You don't have to start out in the free weight section. I didn't move to the free weight section until probably 3 months into lifting, and that's because I started lifting over winter break, basically, in like a weight section, and that was in the YMCA. And that was weird because it's like you have like older men there and you like already feel kind of uncomfortable, but that's where I gained the majority of my confidence because I was away from everyone at school. And then I went back to school and I hung out in the free weight section in the very back, and I slowly made my way up to the mirrors or wherever it was that I felt like, you know, I could now be. So just keep in mind that you're always welcome in the free weight section. Guys are not like, why are you here? No one is ever going to say that to you, and if someone does, then they're just the bad seed. No one is watching you. No one cares. Everyone is there focused on themselves. If you notice, most of the people in the free weight section are literally staring at themselves in the mirror, so they don't even realize that you're there because they're just so into themselves during the moment. So that's one thing to keep in mind. No one is watching you. The only time someone may be watching you is if you are blatantly doing something wrong. And if you've done your research on exercises, you asked a trainer for help, you asked someone else for help, then you'll never run into that issue. Then you just move on to the exercise. So pull up your little video, watch it, perform the exercise, take your rest break, do it again. If you're confused about rep ranges, this is the way that's usually broke down. You have rep ranges 1 to 2, which are gonna be focused on power. Most likely you will never be using those unless you're doing like weightlifting or powerlifting, like Olympic weightlifting. Then we have the rep ranges usually 3 to 7, which is going to be more strength based. And then you have rep ranges 8 to like 15-ish, which is gonna be hypertrophy. And then anything above that is gonna be more pump based. So you're most likely gonna work in between the 8 and 15 rep ranges. Just pick one. It doesn't really matter that much. Do as many sets as you feel is necessary for you. I usually do between 2 and 4. You're gonna kind of figure out how many you want to do for each exercise as you keep on doing the exercises. As the months go on, you'll get a feel for what you need in a workout, how many sets you need for certain muscle groups, and what needs more work than others. So don't stress too much on that. I would just do 3 sets of basically 8 to 12 on most exercises just to start out with. And you want it to feel complicated with the weight that you're using by those last 3 reps. So just gauge that on how much weight you should be using for those exercises. Always start with the lowest and make your way up. You don't want to be one of those people that ego lifts and then ends up incredibly injured, because trust me, it's not worth it. And lastly, you want to go ahead and plan out your next day or the next couple weeks so that you are motivated to go back and keep doing what it is that you're doing. I would take some progress photos. Don't take too many because you're not going to see too much progress within those first like 4 months. You might not see any at all. I didn't see any progress, like noticeable changes in photos for myself, like before and after, probably until like the 5-month mark. So keep in mind, it's going to take a really, really long time to see changes in your body, because that's just how lifting works. Like, if you're not eating enough, you will not gain weight. If you're not eating little enough, you will not lose weight. You have to be eating enough to build muscle, and you have to be eating little enough to lose fat, and you cannot get around that. So if you need to count calories for a little bit, track macros for a little bit, whatever it may be to reach those goals, then do that. It's not obsessive. It doesn't mean you have an eating disorder. It's just what you may need to do to get to where it is that you want to be. Like, I tracked calories and macros for a little over a year, and it helped me so much. It kept myself accountable, and it helps me with my ridiculous metabolism that I have no ability to control because it's just so fast. So I needed to make sure that I was constantly in a surplus, and the only way that I could do that was to make sure I was eating in a surplus every day by tracking my calories. So do whatever it is that you need to reach your goals. Don't let other people tell you what to do because it just doesn't work for them. That doesn't mean it won't work for you. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions about anything, you want me to make any more video topics like this, leave them in the comments. Give this a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Share with anyone who you think it may be beneficial to. Obviously subscribe if you want to see some more videos from me, and I'll see you in my next one. I love you.